So I saw American Fiction. We don't have nearly enough time to talk about it. But I guess what I'll say is, yeah, okay. So I'll try to stay spoiler free. Terry, maybe we can get into spoilers once you see it. It's a fascinating movie. Okay. I went into it with high expectations. I gotta say, it's a bizarre schizophrenic experience because on the one hand, the movie is really, really, I think, sharp and intelligent when it comes to the Jeffrey Wright character's experiences as a Black author who is writing this very pandering novel in an overly stereotypically Black voice, pandering to the white liberal editors. That part of the movie I thought was excellent. I really enjoyed that. I love the scenes with John Ortiz. It's very funny. It obviously goes into Sorry to Bother You territory, and it's not quite as daring or innovative as Sorry to Bother You, but I think it actually brings up a lot of really good cultural points and references. And I really loved actually the scene toward the end with, well, really the dynamics between Jeffrey Wright and Issa Rae, who I think is kind of the MVP of the movie, actually. I wish her character had been more fully fleshed out. So on the one hand, you got, I think, a really solid movie there. On the other hand, it's bogged down by this like kind of lame family drama that I was not prepared for. I mean, the trailers had it very, very much like this is just a point-by-point satire. This is Robert Townsend. This is bamboozled Spike Lee. Like, I was not expecting the family drama element. I agree with Todd. The Sterling K. Brown nomination is baffling. But I will say he's kind of entertaining in the movie, though. He's not terrible, and he is something. I did not think we were going to get more shirtless scenes out of a Best Supporting Actor nominee than Ryan Gosling, but we get it with Sterling K. Brown, so I'm all for that. I don't know where I fall in this movie. It is a strange movie. It works, but it doesn't work at times. I feel, in a weird way, I feel almost exactly the same about this movie as I do The Holdovers. Like, it's a flawed movie. It's too long. It's way, way too sentimental. And yet, I guess I'm kind of happy that it exists in the world. I think the movie takes a few more risks than The Holdovers. The ending is a fascinating mess. Screw it. The Chiefs won. I'm giving it 3 stars. Why not? Just be a little bit different. I think Cord Jefferson's really talented. I don't really know why this movie was nominated for Oscars, but I gotta say it was kind of entertaining. So I'll probably regret saying that later, but it's worth checking out. And again, Jeffrey Wright getting an Oscar nomination is pretty cool. He has a definite Miles Raymond vibe in the movie, which I really
really absolutely. There's totally some sideways in there, but I think the movie, it's just like, it's an absurdist comedy mixed with some drama. I mean, there's some parts that are really sharp, but at the same time, it's just like, I mean, it's Hollywood Shuffle, and I think Hollywood Shuffle is the better movie, but it's a strange movie, and probably one of the weirder like Oscar juggernauts that I've ever seen, because it's just these kind of movies don't get nominated for Oscars. And Sterling K. Brown, I don't know. I mean, he has some line deliveries that are funny. Like, he's basically the comic relief in like a movie that's otherwise pretty ridiculous anyway. So, it's a strange nomination, but I mean, he's an Oscar nominee now, so that's cool too.
Yeah, there's some sharp writing in this movie too. I'm glad it got the screenplay nomination. The speech that no one has talked about this, but the speech and the metaphor that John Ortiz gives about the Johnny Walker red, black, and blue, that's brilliant writing. Yeah. Okay, Todd, that was a great speech. Low key, John Ortiz, better performance than Sterling K. Brown. Like, I would have liked to see him get nominated, because him and Jeffrey Wright have, I think, the best scenes in the movie, other than Issa Rae. But I think there's just a tiny bit, like 51% too much good stuff and 49% bad stuff. So I'm giving it thumbs up, or just normal stuff, unexceptional stuff.
Erica Alexander was also nominated at the Spirit Awards, which I think is strange. Also, she also has not a whole lot to do, but
yeah. I would totally read My Pathology. I mean, you know that, right? Like, I would love to read My Pathology. The first title, not the second title I'd read too. Terry, see it. I think you'll like it.
I plan on it.
It was on Terry's top 5 most anticipated of the fall. So
that's true.
I assume.
Well, yeah, I mean, it won the audience award at TIFF. So I mean, you knew it was going to get into this conversation. And how many times have we said, "Yeah, it's the audience award winner, but this doesn't really feel like a movie that's going to be making it in there." And then Green Book wins Best Picture, and then.
But that still made a little bit more sense than this. I mean, this is not. I mean, it's an absurd comedy, like a satire. And it's been a long time. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Zach, I feel like your review sounded a lot like my review of Amsterdam from a couple years ago when I was like,
Yeah.
the Mariners made an
The
8-run
Mariners won.
comeback in the middle of this game, or in the middle of me watching this
Yeah.
movie, so I'm giving it 3
I
stars.
was at 2.5 stars last night. I'm pushing it up to 3. Why not? Let's have some fun.